listen, money can always be earned later. But the opportunity, Facebook is, opening up its doors in Singapore. Why don't you try? I said, nah, they won't want me. So I didn't even bother to actually try. It was 12 years ago, right? I mean, my salary wasn't that much. But if I not taken that, I am maybe, I can't do this fire thing now, right? Having a car actually took out a lot of finances. Besides that, I think in general, I don't go for fancy holidays. The money for me is used for the living, right? Whether it's a good cause for charity, whether it's for your descendants, just use my current job, where it is the current salary, to sustain.
How much has your salary grown? WorldFirst is back with us at TFC today. Yes, for all you aspiring professionals turned business owner and or side hustlers, you will quickly realize that you lose a lot of money simply by moving money around. A few percent here, a few percent there, it adds up. So WorldFirst offers you competitive FX rates for your international transfers starting as low as $1, helping you maximize your money and stay competitive. I will share with you a little bit more about their latest product in the podcast. So meanwhile, let's roll. Welcome back to Chills with TFC. I'm your host, Reggie, aka your chief financial coconut. And today you see a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff on set, right? All the coolest rackets in town. Because we are very, very excited to be in studio with Nawin, who is a proud, fire candidate. A practitioner, not a candidate already, right? The guy has fired. I think there was a little bit of a LinkedIn virality, and I think the whole idea was he fired so that he can pursue his personal brand and really spend a lot more time with this racket thing. So I am very excited to be in studio with you, and we will go through some of his personal stories, how he came to this, and what are his plans and all that. But maybe for a start, introduce yourself to our audience that don't know you yet, and maybe some of the cool stuff that we have on set. Yeah.
Okay, hi, I'm Nawin, also known as All That Racket. Maybe some of your guys who actually look at rackets have seen my Instagram or Facebook account. So before that, All That Racket itself is a personal hobby, a personal project of mine. It's not meant to make any money or anything. It's more about awareness about racket collecting, different type of rackets over the years. As a profession, before I retired, I was a digital marketer. And I started digital marketing back in 1997 until
Way before digital marketing was a term.
way before even Google was, number one search engines. I think not even when you're born yet, bro.
Yeah. My goodness. What brought you into that in 1997?
Actually, it was by chance. And it's actually through collecting. Before rackets, I was collecting limited edition CDs and vinyls. So at that point of time, I realized, hey, I needed something to actually showcase my, what I have. And the internet was at its infancy stage.
Okay, for our for our young millennial, young Gen Z audience, right? Like, how can you describe like what is infancy of the internet? How does it
Infancy
look like?
of, I don't know, you heard of a dial-up modem?
Yeah. I know.
Right?
We play the game, then
Yeah.
we hated when people call
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we play game.
Yeah,
Yes,
correct.
yes.
And parents will want to use, hey, why are you on the phone? No, right? Like, why are you using the internet? I need to use the phone, that kind of thing. So those were the early days. My dad thinks it was a waste of time. Of course, right? I mean, parents, they think you're wasting time most of the time, they should do something better. But later I found out there was this thing called eBay. And eBay, it allows you to list your articles online. So I was listing not rackets then, but CDs, vinyls. So he was saying, hey, I don't think you can make money. But then I showed him that I was making at least, between 500-700 US profit a week.
Wow.
At that point of time, this was back in the 1997-98.
Wow, okay.
So, he sort of like, okay.
How old were you back then?
I just came out of army.
Okay.
Right? So basically that was it. It was more of interest.
Yeah.
How I knew about all this CD collection and things, I used to go to a place called Tower Records. I don't know whether you guys heard of it. It's a long time ago, okay? And there was this...
I feel like today's episode...
I'm old, okay? I'm old, bro.
I try very hard to like get you. It's like, okay, yeah, Tower Records.
Okay, Tower Records. Then there was later HMV.
Okay,
and then
HMV, I
maybe
know
your time,
HMV already. I know already. Yes.
Okay, so at Tower Records, there was this magazine called Goldmine. And this Goldmine magazine will actually list, these are the limited edition CDs, these are the vinyls, how much they cost. But I realized that, I can't actually penetrate that market because it's the US, UK. So how do you go about doing it? How I get to know who my audience are, where they're coming from, how much time they spend on site, what's their bounce rate. And it started at that lah. So I showed my dad everything. Then he said, yeah, this is all good, but actually, this is not a real job. There's no insurance. There's no health benefit. Get a real job, So,
what does your dad do?
He was working in Compact then.
Okay lah, you see lah. That's why lah. That's why, right? He got a real job.
Yeah, I don't have a real job. I got no. So even that time I need to get my wisdom tooth. I thought that I need some cash for wisdom tooth extraction. So no
get
insurance.
A job.
Yeah. So I have to get a real job. Then a real job. But I think on hindsight, right, that real job maybe got me to where I'm started now, or maybe I could have gone better, right? I could have gone to create portals and things. I don't know. I don't want to speculate, right?
Yeah.
But it was the early stages then. So he said, get a real job. I didn't know what I want to do, right, at that point of time. Just out of army, I did an advanced diploma in get this real estate management, nothing to do with what I do now, just to pass time, okay? So my first job, I remember I applied for SMRT, admin executive. So I remember there was a tribunal, 3 people there. Doing the
admin executive.
Precisely. And
this one management too heavy.
Yeah. So admin executive, then they look. I think you overqualified. Then I was like, with what, right?
What?
It was like,
overqualified is a problem. Yeah.
So I was thinking, wow, really? Like that also I can't get that role, right? Admin exec. So how? I just went applying, and there was this job at that time. It was this company called Global Sources. It's a B2B company. It was actually based in Hong Kong, and it's spreading out to Asia. So that's when actually I learned digital marketing, because I was fortunate to have a boss, an American boss, who knew about digital marketing. He knew about SEO. So he taught me a lot about digital marketing, and he taught me from scratch. I mean, to get a boss, guys, to actually sit down beside you and say, hey, this is a spreadsheet, this is a calculation. He was so patient. I think why I'm a good trainer, or why I'm patient with people now, right, is because I always appreciate my first boss, what he has done for me. And until today, I think, because of him, I grew to what I am now, with, of course, guidance with other mentors and things like that. And I believe that's very important in your career, where, be it digital marketing or anywhere, right? Your bosses are important, your mentors, how should I put it, your sifus or the people, right?
The people you learn from. Yeah, okay. That's a very exciting front bit, right? But how did that whole bit then lead to like this whole racket thing?
Okay, so tennis was like, it's always been my passion, right? Since I was 14 years old. I started tennis when I was 14. That was back in the 80s. So I think the main players that time was Michael Chang, Agassi, Pete Sampras. That time, I don't know whether you know these guys.
I only know the Nadal.
The Nadal, this the new
Federer,
generation. Yeah.
Yes.
So those were the days. And Michael Chang was American Asian, right? So basically, we all Asians, we aspire to be like Michael Chang. So buy all his gear, buy his outfit, right? Michael Chang had this very cool shoes called the Reebok Tennis Pump. So you actually pump it up. And then all of us, right, we really want to buy such things, the apparel and stuff like that. Agassi was all flashy, right? So we wanted to buy his racket. It was all orange, all yellow. His gear with tights and flashy, rainbow colors, things like that. So that was tennis, not really serious. Then when I did my A-levels, I got into school team. After that, I went to army, hardly play. Actually, the hobby itself, it only grew later on, because end of the day, right, rackets are not cheap. And in fact, the prices are increasing.
I know,
right?
you have $1,000 rackets,
Yeah. I mean, I have 1,000 over rackets, right, in my collection. The prices appreciate over time, but a lot of people think like, you got such an old racket, a wooden racket, is Karangoni price $5, $10, no? It's not the case. A lot of these things, we need to import them from overseas, from fellow collectors. You'll be very lucky on Carousel, somebody don't know the value, sell you a very rare racket for $1. It doesn't work that way. So a lot of people try to contact me, lowball me, on my website. I want to buy this, I want to buy that. At last, when you say, okay, this is the price, no, it's too expensive. Or I had some crazy offer like, I want this racket. I said, sorry, bro, it's not for sale. Then he said something like, everybody has a price. So I said, okay, this is my price. He asked me to name my price. I said, this is my price. Then he say, what's your best price? It doesn't make sense, right? So end of the day, you get to see a lot of these people, right, who are trying to find a deal. I guess everybody wants to find a deal. But you need to contend with these people as well. All That Racket, right, my site is more about memories, creating memories. Because some classic rackets, right, like this one, I think Jay Cho did make a mention about this racket. And then he said something like, if you post all the strangest looking rackets, weirdest looking rackets, and I like it, I'll give you free tickets. And then my Instagram actually went viral because people were ripping off, pictures of all my rackets. I have like a lot of strange looking rackets. I get people also asking me, bro, can you send me something like high resolution images of these rackets so I can post it and send it to Jay Cho? Fingers crossed I can get, like the free tickets.
At least he damn candid.
Yeah.
We will piece that story together as we go along, right? But do you want to like take this opportunity to, discuss some of the rackets? Because it's not usual that we have all these barang on set, right?
Okay, the racket that you have here, right, it's called a Yamaha. It's a Yamaha brand racket, as in the piano company. So, Reggie, if you show the butt of the racket, you can see the Yamaha logo over there. This racket is special because it's made in Singapore. Not many people realize that rackets were made in Singapore back in the 80s, 90s. And then Yamaha, of course, they're still around. They make other things like your musical instruments. They had actually the Yamaha boutique at Plaza Singapura. I think they still have a boutique now, right? They used to sell rackets. There's an entire showroom for tennis rackets there. And they used to make tennis rackets until later on they decided, okay, racket is not our thing. But this is actually a part of history, right? I mean, it's made in Singapore.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
EX110.
Yeah, and Gabriele Sabatini, right, used to use this racket, this model. Yeah, it's not your time, bro. But
It's okay. You can vibe, right? All the listeners, you can vibe in the comment section. Okay,
Okay, that's
cool.
one.
Yes.
And then the other one I have here is a Lacoste racket, the Lacoste brand. Now they have the modern day variant, but you can see this is they call it the guitar shape. It has a tail at the end. It's a shock absorber apparently. So some people ask me how does this racket play? I can tell you, although it looks gimmicky, it can play well. Yeah, it's nice to play with actually.
Okay.
So yeah, these are just some. I have like 1,000 over rackets. I have a lot of content to do lah.
There's a lot of good stuff. Follow the page, right?
Yeah.
All That Rackets.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. So no matter how you splice and dice, Singapore has no land for this sport anymore,
hard,
right? It's harder, right? And it's either losing to pickleball
or paddle
or BTO.
Yeah, or paddle as well. Yeah.
It is fine. It's right.
Yeah.
But yes, like I want to know the story, right? So how did this like fire thing then come into your life?
Okay, so I was fortunate, right? I was the first Singaporean employee when Facebook started in Singapore. So at that point of time, they had something called RSUs, stock lah. They gave us stock.
Wow, back then.
It was not that much. I think the pioneer generation who joined, right, they had a lot more. So I had some. And I was fortunate also to like get that role because when Facebook started in Singapore, from what I understand, they reached out to a lot of people. And a lot of my friends in the agency, I was working for an agency then, they were going for the role and say, hey, Facebook is, opening up its doors in Singapore. Why don't you try? I said, nah, they won't want me. So I didn't even bother to actually try. So I think they did their first batch of interviews, maybe found some people, couldn't find some people. Then they went the secondary source of interviews are people who didn't actually apply or they felt they didn't fit. So one of the headhunters, the direct recruiters reached out to me, say, hey, Nawin, I'm from Facebook. Are you interested in the role? I said, no. He was like, why?
Hey, you sure not, bro?
Yeah.
You sure?
Then, I was telling him, I said, look, you guys are doing like something like ads, right? Display ads, which is basically like, display something like SEM. You'll be more interested in the pay-per-click type of people rather than me. My specialty at that time, although I was digital marketer, but my specialty is SEO, search engine optimization. I was an SEO consultant. So at that point of time, I thought, okay, I'll just go for it, see what happens. At last, they offered me the role. I was quite shocked, but also at that time, I had to sort of take a pay cut because while the interview process was going on, my current company gave me a 10% raise.
So they heard wind of it?
No, they did not at all.
Okay.
So happened, the timing was like very strange. By the end of the day, it's just, I think, part of the annual review. And it was during that time. So when they offered me the role, they said that, look, we are just starting. We don't have budget because you are more senior. We are looking at actually more junior roles, but we're actually pushing you up to a team principal role. But based on your existing salary, not the one that, you're...
not the just adjusted one.
Just
we
adjusted
really try to match you.
Yeah. So I thought about it, okay. I asked my dad. Of people, I asked my dad.
The guy that asked you to get a real job.
So at that point of time, I think he was being practical. He said, hey, Nawin, you told me they interviewed the whole of Singapore, right? It's very difficult to get in. So I think the piece of advice he gave me at that time, and I think to all your listeners, I feel it's the same kind of advice. It's a very good advice. Is that listen, money can always be earned later, but the opportunity. Just imagine I didn't take up, right? Well, I wanted at 10%, and at that time I'm quite junior, right? How many years ago? Like it was 12 years ago, right? I mean my salary wasn't that much, but if I not taken that, I am maybe I can't do this fire thing now, right? So sometimes it's just luck, the timing. Sometimes it's just trying to. It's something that you need to sort of like go with the flow, lah. I find, and it was very good advice actually. If I've not taken that, probably I'm still working,
Yeah, I know what I mean. And then
Yeah.
agency becomes very cutthroat over
Yeah,
time. Fair,
and
fair.
yeah, I'll allude to that later, lah.
Yes. Okay. So that career pivot, essentially laid the ground for an exponential salary progress lah. I think that's a fair statement, right?
It's different. I mean, in banks, if you are okay, you get promoted and all these things, probably your salary is considered okay, quite good. And maybe it's because that I went into a banking industry after when I was in Facebook. From there, I went into a bank. And after that, proceeded to three different banks, right? From DBS, I was in Stanchart, then moved to Bank of Singapore, which is OCBC's wealth management, arm. It's just so happened. It was just in the industry. I didn't really like sort of change it or that I want to actually be in that industry. So that offered me sort of like a stable income so that I can actually save up my resources. And also while I did work on like, like maybe buying tennis rackets
Buying
and
more
things
rackets.
like more rackets
Yeah, because
and
I'm
toys
trying
and
to
things like
square
that.
that whole like you collected a lot of rackets, but at the same time you fired. So we'll go there into the numbers in a while.
So I think it allowed me to build my wealth, to actually maintain my wealth. And then at this point in time, I think for tech like Facebook, you can see that their stock has actually gone up exponentially from the time I got it. I had a lot of people recommending me when Facebook stock was $300-$400. It's considered good, right? Because it started, I think, was $30-$40. Right now, the highest it went up is close to $900. I think it's 800 plus, right? So I kept it till quite high. Then I just released a bit lah. That's the reason why I managed to. There was no secret sauce. A lot of people say, "Hey, Nawin, how do you do it? How all of a sudden do you kena Toto or what?" No. The answer is no, right?
He bought the Toto 10 years ago.
Hey, tonight, bro, you should buy. So the thing here is like, it's just to sustain, right? My journey. My wife is not working. She got retrenched many years back. So I told her, hey, look, she has a health condition. Just take it easy. Let me work. So it's just my wife and I. We don't have any kids. So that also enable us. Yeah, it made us easier. I'm not asking you guys not to have kids. Don't get me wrong.
This is not the national narrative. Okay.
So the thing is, it's easier. My house is paid for. I don't stay in a fancy place. I stay in HDB. So, it's not like...
I know, because you already say condo cannot guarantee
correct.
tennis racket.
So it's generally that, right? But a lot of people, when I retired, they found out that I retired. They say, bro, I want to be like you. I also want to retire. I say, you can, what, right? Many of them are in the banking sector. They are, I think they make more money than me. Cannot lah, bro. I got mortgage. Cannot lah, bro. I got kids to put through school and all these things. So there's no magic sauce, right? If you have all these commitments, it is very difficult, right? With the cost of living rising in Singapore, it's very, very tough to do a lot of things. And then you can't let your kid just do whatever, right? You have enrichment programs, you have to put them through maybe tennis coaching, whatever, piano and all these things, right? So you need to think about your kid as well. So I think that's a challenge, I mean, to parents, right, with kids, to make their children more grounded in all other activities, right? They have to invest a lot of time and money on them, which is tough lah, to do this fire thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So a few of my friends say, maybe I can be like you, bro. Maybe when I'm like 60 lah, then, I say, okay lah, I hope you can do it. The other strategy I have, right, is that I just hit 50, right? So 50, I think, a sweet spot. Now I feel I'm normal like 40, 30, play tennis, knee pain, arm pain, everything. So at this point, I think if I go out, I can enjoy a bit longer, maybe play a bit more tennis, travel a bit. Rather than I am 60, 70, you kind of are limited. I'm sure a lot of people 60, 70, right? They are still very healthy. But I can feel my own body. So I think it's more a personal use case, right? My wife and I feel not no more as good as before when we were younger, right? Our body is no more the same. So we decide to actually fast forward whatever traveling or whatever we want to do, we do it now. When we hit 60, 70, then pull back. pull back spending, pull back this, pull back that. So that's my strategy lah.
That's pretty much the mantra lah.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. Okay, fair. So let's get into some of the numbers on this front, right? How much has your salary grown in that like Facebook time to like when you leave? Just so we give some context to the audience. How many percent
I think it
jumped?
went up, excluding stocks and
Of course,
bonuses.
exclude
all this,
bonus.
just a
Yeah, we just talk
basic,
about
right?
base pay.
I think maybe around 30-40%. It's not really that much. So I was like more or less in middle management most of the time.
Quite normal, like everyday people, you know. Like,
I would say so. I'm pretty much normal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was more like a team lead, more of a mentor to others. I was more of an individual contributor. It's not that I didn't manage people. I used to manage people in like smaller startups and things like that, my earlier days. But maybe it's just not given the opportunity, or maybe it's just I don't want that. But end of the day, right, I always have my two main mottos in my life, right? That is my guiding principle is it is what it is. It is what it is, meaning like if you can't get promoted, it is what it is lah. If you can't get an increment, it is what it is. And the other thing is, what do you intend to do about it, right? So if you complain, nothing will happen. In Singapore, you complain, nothing happens, right? You know. So what are what are you personally going to do about it? Like for me, I know the cost is going up, right? Everything is going up. What am I going to do about it? For me, I look at the situation, I can like look abroad. Because for me, abroad means Thailand. I'm half Thai. Nawin is actually a Thai name. My mom is actually from Chiang Mai. So basically, I have some roots there. I know about the culture. I can speak the language somewhat. So it's easier for me to transition to a place like Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai is way cheaper than, let's say, Bangkok, for instance. So that's easier. I think you had ex-Googler, right?
Yes.
Who came but he's still working.
Yeah.
My use case is totally different. I'm not working
He's
at
done.
all. I'm done.
Now he's done.
Yeah. So like the funny thing is like after I announced my retirement on LinkedIn, right? I had like friends who came back to me and say, bro, you want to do some freelance or you want to do some consulting? It's like, hey, look, I just left.
I just retired, guys. Today I announced my retirement. Don't ask me to work.
Yeah. So those were the funny things, but at least I know I'm still appreciated. People still remember
People value
me.
you. They think you have something to offer to whichever organization that they are in. Hey Coconuts, I'm very excited to introduce you to the latest offerings from WorldFirst. WorldFirst is an all-in-one business account that fuels your business worldwide. Their latest product, the World Card, is a multi-currency business card that allows you to get unlimited 1.2% cashback on all your business spend. If you use it on Meta Ads, Google Ads, ChatGPT, Salesforce, and more, you get additional benefits. Of course, subjected to change, terms and conditions apply. But more importantly, if today you are looking to start your business, whether it's in retail, e-commerce, or B2C, WorldFirst is your partner. Check them out, link in the description below, and back to the show. Just so we stock take on this, right? There is no serious salary increment in the past decade of work, right?
Yep.
You had some sort of little pot because of Facebook shares, right? In the early days, 10 plus years ago until now, great, right? You have that pot, right? And how did you then kind of like amass the kind of capital size that would allow you to so-called like fire lah? Like what is your structure? How are you managing your money?
I did spend on like things, right? Like my tennis rackets and
he has thousands of tennis rackets. I think that adds up.
Yeah, it adds up, right? I eat at restaurants. I don't really, we don't really cook at home with COVID, right? Everything was like grab. The good thing with it was we used to own a car during COVID time. During COVID, the tail end of COVID, we had to scrap it. So it's just scrapping, 10 years up. So that helped also. Having a car actually took out a lot of finances. Besides that, I think in general, I don't go for fancy holidays. I don't go to Europe. I don't travel that much. For me, I'm actually closer to home. So my roots are generally in Thailand. I'll go back to Chiang Mai. I'll travel. So a lot of my friends say, hey, you didn't go Scandinavia, you didn't go Paris, this. It's not me. And I grew up, right? My mother actually grew up in an atap house, right? I used to actually visit her during my school holidays. From Singapore, we go there. It's real kampong. As in when I say kampong, right, there are holes underneath the house. And you just sweep like rice or something when you eat and chickens will be down there. And we had like, when I saw this, right, it reminded me of the kerosene lamps that I used to grow up with, staying in a house. So I'm actually going backwards. I don't want to have all these luxuries. I want that kind of living.
And this luxury.
Yeah, this one I don't know lah. How long it will last.
The love
Yeah.
and the things that you
Yeah.
care about.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's no secret sauce. I just use my current job, where it is the current salary, to sustain. And when the time is right, so happen, my stocks are up. I just sold some.
Okay.
And then hopefully, it will sustain me. The other thing I'm also, which I spoke to my wife about, is that, and you guys also spoke about, is cost of living, insurance, right? It's very expensive now. I just turned 50, my insurance premium all went up, right? I'm not working, so it's no more covered by a company. So what happens if you get seriously sick, seriously ill? And I told my wife, look, no, if I'm seriously, I rather use the money for the living. I rather go. I'm not going to seek like treatment and all these things, because as it is, I think I'm happy where I am. So if I were to go tomorrow, it's fine. I'll go tomorrow. You know what I mean? The money for me is used for the living, right? Whether it's a good cause for charity, whether it's for, your descendants, whether it's to the church or some religious institution, is at least rather you spend on a dying person to live a few more years. What's the point? So that's my strategy.
That's a mantra and it's baked into the strategy.
So it's personal. It's more of a personal kind of thing, right? Not many people want to live like that. So it's different, I would say.
Okay, okay, fair. So just so I'm clear, that then you don't have like a complex investment structure, or like, do you have like a portfolio? That's like the thing people do, right?
So a lot of people do that. My wife and I, we are risk averse. So, my financial planner will come in, you should buy this. I bought a few. Then I realized, hey, my money is stuck here, my money is stuck there. I want to use for this renovation, all this. Oh, you have to wait. If you take it out, you lose more money. Then what's the point?
Yeah.
So the way I look at it, I'll just manage it myself. If something happens, it happens. I know for younger generations, like my friend, right? They were actually, my friends, they look at different components of investment. They invest in this, invest in that. That makes me more money. It's maybe not me.
Okay. Then how do you do it? Yeah.
I don't invest. So for me, I'm telling the truth. I don't invest. It is what it is. It's just there. So I just use what I need. I'll use until it actually runs down.
Okay, okay. And in your plan or some sort of a plan, it's sufficient to stay to the...
It's sufficient enough until, hopefully until I die lah.
Okay.
But I wouldn't know when that happens, but if it's earlier, actually it's better lah. I don't need to spend so much, right?
You don't need to manage the longevity risk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. But you at least try to do some things to hedge inflation, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like bonds or SSBs or those things you don't.
Not at all.
None.
Not at all.
FD, nothing.
No, not at all.
Nawin, you tell people you work in the banks, yeah.
Hey, I'm a digital marketer. I'm not an RM.
I'm not RM.
So for me, you might find this funny, right? For me, right, my life is very much based on digital marketing, how I optimize campaigns. So basically, like, when you start a campaign, you don't know what you're looking at, whether your content will be good, right? Whether it will go viral, how much money should I put in? Some people, I throw everything in and see how it... So right now, right, I just retired, maybe 4 months. I retired in June, right? So it's a stage now is for me to get a feel of what's going on. Put feelers out there. I'm going to spend this much. I'm going to go this holiday. I want to do what I can't do. Because right now, right, I don't need to think about, I can only take leave when this person is not around, that person is not around, right? I have this meeting coming. I have to prepare these slides or decks or this. I have to put this report in. No, I don't have that kind of thing. So I can start planning where I want to go, what I want to do now. If it don't, I want to sleep, go and sleep lah. There's nothing stopping me. But at this point of time, it's just getting a feel. So if I spend more, how long more is going to last? Maybe in about a few more months, then I start actually optimizing the entire journey. Okay, if this did work, this doesn't work, this one I need to cut down, this one I have to put more. So how I actually do my finances is very, very much similar to a digital marketing campaign. I look at how I actually redirect my funds and optimize it. Yeah.
Yeah. I understand. I understand what you mean. Yeah. But as of now, he's still in the discovery stage, right? So then let's move the conversation, right, into this whole Thailand thing, right? This is your FIRE plan, which is, I think FIRE has two big structures, right? One is about accumulating that financial firepower, right? And then the other part is really about like retiring early, lah, right? And I think it's not hard to know that on this channel, a big discussion of retiring early, just
Yeah.
move out, lah.
Correct,
right?
correct. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is,
Yeah,
right?
it is what it is.
It is what
It's
it is,
not
yeah.
ideological. It's
Yeah.
just and it just becomes an increasingly viable option as the Sing dollar continues to strengthen over
Right.
time, right? And
Yeah.
like when we first did the coverage on Singaporeans with rebasing in Johor, that was like 150,000 views, But then over time, then they're lesser and lesser because this has already become a thing. More and more people are doing it already.
Yeah.
They don't need you to tell them. They probably have more information now, right? So that is that whole thing. And then now we have this whole Thailand discussion also, like, more and more people are doing Bangkok. And then of course Shao came and talked about Chiang Mai. So maybe share with us your plans and your ideas around this.
Okay, so I mean, those who know me, right? Because I mentioned I'm half Thai. My mother is actually from Chiang Mai. So it's a no-brainer for me. She has a house there. She has a longan farm. I mean, I don't want to be a longan farmer, okay? I'm not, but what I'm saying
you will
is...
take down the longan farm to build tennis court.
Actually, a pickleball court make money.
Yeah, can make money. In
So,
Chiang Mai.
So it's not like it's something that it's because I want to do recently because what we see now, right? It so happened. It's just a coincidence because I grew up, during my school holidays. I'm Singaporean. I grew up there, right? I mean, during my school holidays, I go there. I see my relatives. I can speak the language. I know the culture. So for me, right, it's like a no-brainer to sort of move there. In fact, the house, right, is my dad built the house for my mom, thinking that he'll go and retire. So it's my dad's retirement house. But he didn't want to, he rather stay in Singapore. Probably he doesn't like that lifestyle. But for me, I would want to stay with my mom at her place because it's really out in the countryside. For me, I want some modern amenities. I want the tennis court. I want, like maybe a mall so I can actually go and enjoy some coffee. Not Starbucks. Starbucks there is
Very
expensive as Singapore.
Yeah. So now he's going to use the longan farm to build a tennis court and a mall.
No, but you have to get my mom's approval.
The big developer is here.
Yeah. Chiang Mai, one thing about it, there's this thing called the burning season. It happens like January to April. It becomes the world's most polluted city, right?
It's horrible.
So that's when we can come back to Singapore because I don't intend to rent out my place. I still want to have a place in Singapore to still come back to, right? So it'll be a few months here, a few months there. That's my plan. And then look at the situation, whether my wife likes that area, whether we can take, a few months there. Then we see whether we want to transition there for a longer period. That would be actually the aim for us. But definitely for, any medical treatment or anything like that, just come back to Singapore, the serious ones, But the basic, I think medical treatment there and all this, healthcare is very, very good, right? Dental, medical there in Thailand is considered one of the best now. There's a lot of medical tourism going on there as well.
It is. Yeah. It's competing. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. So you are taking that same mantra of a digital marketer to kind of test out this whole overseas retirement situation.
Yeah. And I also looked at retirement homes there because like I said, we don't have any kids, right? If you check out the retirement homes there, they're like resorts, bro. Did you see it before?
I saw. They should sponsor us. They should sponsor us and fly us there. And, shout out to all you. And you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. So retirement homes there are nice, right? And it's like a fraction of cost of Singapore, for instance, right? Maybe language is not a problem for me. I can speak, right, somewhat. So I don't think it will be an issue. Maybe it's more cost effective for me. I mean, it's my use case, personal use case. A lot of people, they just can't do it, right? Because they have their family, they have kids and everything to look after. But it's just my wife and I. Then, why not? Yeah.
Okay, fair. So with that as the backdrop, right? Then maybe in the last part of the conversation, I do want to ask, then where does this thing?
Oh yeah. A lot of people.
Yeah, so, where does this racket thing then come? Because it sounds like a big plan, like there already. Although there's no financial plan, but there's a broad idea of like what you're gonna do and where you're heading towards. So where is this gonna?
So my wife told me, say, Nawin, all these things are basically whatever we have. They are things, right? Your life is more important. So end of the day, would I give this up to maybe go there full time? Yeah, maybe. If somebody offers you something for your website, your page, just sell your business. It's not really a business, but the collection, because some people, they want to be collectors. Straight away, they have a whole set of rare rackets, in their collection to start. yeah, why not? I might consider that. Then go do full time lah. Go there full time, have a bit more money, be happy there lah. I think the most important thing for me, right, is that independence. I would say the word is independence because after I retired, right, I shared with my friends, I don't know the time. I don't know the day. Time I know lah, the day. I don't know what day, whether it's a PH, whether, it's a school holiday, whether it's Christmas, Deepavali. I don't know of time anymore. I've no sense of time. It's just that freedom, no. It's not like, oh, I need to apply for leave. Oh, there's this report that is due. Performance review is due. Or like in banks, if you guys know, right, in banks, there's e-learning that we have to do, that kind of things. So it's no more that freedom to just, oh, I want to go out, have coffee with my wife, then go and play tennis after that, then go for a swim in the club. So basically, yeah, it's just that freedom to enjoy time with the wife lah, happy wife, happy life, right, bro? So basically spend more time with wife, spend more time with the hobby, travel a bit, not far. And Thailand anyway is going to be my base. We plan to be our base, right? So we have to scout out more areas. So what happens during the burning season? Don't stay in Chiang Mai. Maybe if come back to Singapore few months, or probably go to Koh Samui or Phuket or somewhere.
Yeah, there are a lot of places.
Yeah, housing is cheap there.
Yeah.
Right? And if you are very chinchay, you need all the amenities and all this, can be even cheaper.
Yeah. But
right?
you're not chinchay. You need tennis court.
I need tennis courts, but tennis courts are cheap there, bro.
Ah, okay.
You can stay somewhere
It's only
near,
a premium here because of land.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Because BTO more important.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Great. I think that was a good discussion. I think it's valuable to hear a different point of view because a lot of people in FIRE, there's always that too big thing, right? Which is, you gotta compress your cost of living so that you can accumulate as fast as possible. And then you gotta build some sort of like a portfolio to make sure you can sustain the life. But sometimes I feel like that gap exists of like, so what is the life you actually want? Right? Because the whole structure and all your bandwidth is on building this thing, right? This portfolio to kind of build that ongoing so-called passive income to fulfill this imaginary life in your head. That is not. It's hard to fathom, right? And then to be fair, I think a lot of working professionals have all sorts of struggles, right? And a lot of competing priorities, a lot of problems. Every day there is some sort of a problem, right? So it's not easy, but I think it's quite inspiring what you are doing lah. Yeah. So any last things you want to give to, any last ideas or last words you want to share with the average working professional, that
Okay. So
join
generally,
Facebook.
yeah. It's meta now. Yeah, meta. So I mean, there's a lot of upcoming like potential companies you can join. They give like stocks, right? They give like other like benefits, free food and all these things, that kind of thing. But I think the most important thing, right, for me would be how you manage yourself. For me, I think most of my friends, colleagues, they know I'm very non-confrontational. So I'm not happy with my boss, not happy with this, not happy with that. I don't complain. I don't speak up. I think with people my generation, right, boss say what, do. Don't speak up. Newer generation, I see a lot of people, wow, my boss sucks. These are going to school and all these things. Right? They
TikTok,
confront the boss.
everything.
Yeah, everything is different. So I guess times have changed. But personally for me, how I got by is I survive. Meaning, like, I have this problem with the boss. What I want to do about it? The boss doesn't like me, or I don't like this job, or it's not going anywhere. So next step is look around, move, right? Don't complain. There's nothing you can do about it. Maybe now you can complain and get away with it. So it's the other motto for me is always live to fight another day. So I live long enough, accumulate long enough, and now I'm done, right? So if you guys are patient enough to follow this kind of thing and lucky enough, then probably you can be all just like me, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. A lot of wise words. I love it. Yeah. So if our audience would like to connect with you, I think probably for this racket thing, where's the best place to go?
You visit my Instagram. It's at All That Racket. I think you will share the link below lah. Yeah.
He like that say that means I must share.
Yeah,
right? All That Rackets. Okay.
Yeah, All That Racket.
check out the page.
RACKET.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. So if you get sales, do I get a racket?
Can. no problem.
Okay, promo
There's
code.
many
promo
type
code.
of different rackets, but probably we can have a game on this.
Yeah. Sure,
If I can get
sure.
courts.
Yeah. Not that I know how to play, but let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I hope you find today's story interesting, inspiring. I think retirement has many facets, right? And it sometimes transcends just finance in itself, right? And I think we have been spending a lot of time laboring in this category. We hope you find a lot of insights in today's episode. And if you like what we do at The Financial Coconut, head to thefinancialcoconut.com to put your email there so that we can reach out to you directly when we have an event, when we have an update, so that we can route out of the algorithm. Don't always need to do stupid content to get to you, right? Like, if you love what we do, you want to stay updated, drop your email so we have a direct access. When we have good things, we'll let you know. With that, thank you for your time. We'll see you next week at Choose with TFC. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.